Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Sal Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Have you all recovered? How you all feeling? That's the most important question, of course. What's going on with you guys? You're the first comment, Brian, as usual. You absolute legend. How you doing this morning? How you feeling? You know, lots of noise going on around the fan base. You know, annoyance. You know, anger, frustration, overreaction. You know, whatever it is, there's a lot going on within the fan base at the moment. Absolutely. Good morning to everyone. That's me then. No, yeah, Brian, you are a legend. You know, early worm, was it early bird eats the worm, catches the worm. Early bird catches the worm, doesn't it? That's the quote, isn't it? Avi, how you doing, Eureka? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I don't expect any changes at United with Ten Hag, even if you buy 5 strikers. Oh my goodness me. We got off to a great start here. Guys, before I do start though, please could you kindly smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. That'd be absolutely perfect if you guys can do that for me. That'd be brilliant. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, there's a lot of frustration going on within the fan base. Yesterday's result was very disappointing. We know it was. But we also have to remember not to overreact and remember that it was just one game, right? It's just one game. We know if it doesn't happen, if Ten Hag doesn't perform, if he doesn't get the results, we know what's going to happen. He doesn't need pressure from us. He doesn't need us to tell him that. We can only critique what we see at the end of the day. And Ten Hag does have his problems. He does. But, you know, it's not only him. It's not only him. And we have to remember that. We have to be very careful when we're criticizing and overreacting, in my opinion, to what happened yesterday. Because the game is fine margins at the end of the day. I'm in Cyprus 902, beautiful Cyprus. I wish I could be in Cyprus right now. You absolute legend. Hope you're by the beach having a pina colada early in the morning. if you do you know what I mean? But yeah, at the end of the day, look, I've analysed the game. I've had a look of it back, and you know, I've been trying to pick the bones out of it. You know, and you know, at the end of the day, we played okay for the majority of the game. The game was in our hands, and you know, this is kind of a theme that it has been happening at Man United for a very, very long time. Like we don't seem to get it over the line. We miss too many chances. You were unlucky, you know, for example, you know. But the final goal is what I want to point at, and I want to talk about the last goal, the 2-1, which led to us losing the game. Of course, Mac, do you still feel we will be contenders this season? I don't see where the goals are going to come from at the moment, mate. After yesterday, it's it's too soon to say. At the end of the day, we have to beat Liverpool. That's a given, you know, because teams these days are losing 1 to 3 games. They're not losing 6 to 7 like they used to do in the 90s. Do you remember when teams used to lose 6 to 7 games or even 9 games and still win the title? It's not like that anymore, is it, at the end of the day? So, you know, you can't lose. We've left ourselves with little room for error now in regards to that. Our midfield this weekend and last season minus Amrabat, I agree. It is. At the moment, we've got a weak midfield. And you can see it with your own eyes what was happening to Casemiro. As the game was going on, his legs were going further and further and further. And he needed to be changed. He needed to come off, didn't he? He needed to come off the pitch. Sniper Man, good morning, my friend. How you doing, my bro? Hope you're doing well. I'm still mad with us. Me too, Sniper Man. I'm mad as well. But at the end of the day, do you know what? You know, don't get too mad. At the end of the day, football can change. It can change. And, you know, whatever happens, it's like, you know, Man United will awaken from this slumber and we will come back. We will come back. Don't worry. Yes, so at the end of the day, look, I was analysing the second goal. And you know what? Whether you're zonal marking, whether you're man marking, you know, it's always important that a player takes initiative, right? We can't just blame Dalot. We can't, because we can get led into that trap of blaming one player. It's a collective. I've seen the images. I've seen the picture of the second goal, and I've seen the players following the ball like sheep, you know, onto the right-hand side and leaving 3 men unmarked in the box. That's amateur defending, you know. But even if that did happen, we got 2 players. Even if they're strikers, we had Xerxes, I believe, there, and another player. I don't know who. I think it's Casemiro. But we had 2 players there who were doing nothing. Those players there are there to use their initiative and look at and see that the player is unmarked. They should be busting the gut to get to that player to stop the goal from happening. Because you need to take initiative sometimes. You need to look at the situation and think, you know what, you know, something's going to happen here. Let me take initiative. Even if it's not my job to defend, I need to go there and I need to try and prevent the goal from happening, you know, and we wouldn't have lost otherwise. Sniper Man, my trust has shaken from this team. Although we can beat City, I don't know if we can beat Arsenal, Spurs, and Liverpool. Do you know what? At the end of the day, I feel confident against teams like Liverpool and Spurs and teams like that and Arsenal. But it's the teams that we're supposed to beat that I feel worried about, Sniper Man. I feel worried about those Brighton, Southampton, Everton, teams of this world that we seem to struggle against, you know what I mean? And the low block, we're struggling with that. We're struggling in creating things, It's just, we need to look at our goal scoring line. And this is where I want to come to, because at the end of the day, there's 5 things that I believe should change at Manchester United. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Stretford Gamer, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Morning, everyone. Good morning. Almac, can we really play with Mason Mount and Bruno and just no striker? No, we cannot. And this is what I'm going to come to with the 5 things I think should change at Manchester United, which is, for me, is very, very important going forward. Number 1, we cannot play Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is prone to mistakes. He makes mistakes and he makes crucial errors, right? Harry Maguire lets you down. He lets you down when you need him, right? He does perform sometimes, he does the odd good game, but he's liable to make mistakes. And this is the problem. He's liable to make mistakes. And we got to stop choosing him over players like De Ligt. We paid a lot of money for De Ligt. Let's just play him and let's get him fit and let's get him match fit. I guarantee you, we would not have lost that game yesterday if De Ligt was playing. That's number 1, right? Number 2 in my list, Rashford should not be starting on the left-hand side for Manchester United. Rashford, he hasn't performed for over a year or so, even more than that. I think it's more than a year he hasn't performed. And at the end of the day, we need to look at that and say, look, this guy's not performing. We need to drop him. Forget the favoritism. Forget how much he gets paid a week and his PR team around him. He needs to be dropped when he needs to be dropped. Garnacho needs to come in there. Absolutely, Garnacho needs to come in there. He should be the one starting the game. He deserves to start the game. Of course, when he came on yesterday, he caused havoc. Of course, another one. We need that Ugarte deal to solidify our midfield. We need that enforcer in midfield. We need that guy who can be the defensive shield between the defence and midfield and can prevent us from getting attacked upon, counter-attacked upon, guys, at the end of the day. So that's number 3. We need that Ugarte deal done. It is crucial for the season. Very, very important for the season going forward. I said yesterday it's around 20 points. And I believe it's around 20 points. I do believe it's around 20 points. That's number 3. Stretford Gamer. I have no words. Even Tony. I'm going to come up to that, mate. You read my words. And number 4, we need to stop playing square pegs in round holes, which means right foot should play right back. Left foot should play left back. Stop playing players out of position. If we need to get a left back, I would rather play Harry and Mass than play players out of position. I would rather put them in the team than play players out of position. They've got to stop playing. He's got to stop playing square pegs in round holes. I'm sorry. Even the midfield, left midfield should be a left footer. Right midfield should be a right footer. Stop this cutting in business. We need players who assist. We need players who can create. And that's what we need. And also, when we play players out of position, especially in the full-back positions, we don't get those overlapping runs. We don't get, the support for the left winger or the right winger. We need players in their correct position. Number 5, the false 9 does not work. Manchester United, through history, have had a focal point, a goal scorer up front, a goal scorer you can aim at. Numerous times during the game yesterday, we saw Ahmad look up and they couldn't find the pass. They couldn't find the main man up there because there's no one up there. Bruno Fernandes is not a striker. You can either play Bruno behind and play McTominay up there because he's more of a presence, or just play a striker up there, play Xerxes up there. Ahmad looked up a couple of times yesterday and there was no one. Absolutely no one up there. And that's the problem. And over history, we should stick to our history. We have had strikers. We've had strikers up there who cause havoc. It's not just about stat padding. It's not just about how many goals he scored, how many assists he's made. It's about causing a danger, a presence in the box, and causing calamity in the box. And even Tony would do that. Absolutely, Stretford Gamer, as I was saying, and even Tony would do that. He would cause problems. It's not just about goal scoring. Andy Cole, Dwight York, players like that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer were not the top scorers of all time like Andy Cole was, but the rest of them wasn't. They didn't stat pad. It wasn't about stat padding. Mark Hughes as well. You know, it was about creating a havoc in the box and being a target man, someone who can hold up the ball, someone who can bring players into play, things like that. Look at Teddy Sheringham, for example, players of that ilk, you know, who can bring players into the game, who's a presence and cause the defence to worry a little bit. Let me just go through some of your or else Ten Hag out. Absolutely, there's a lot to change. Sniper man, Maguire blocker, 2 passes in the box, or we could have been beaten for 2. Maguire blocker, 2 passes, 2 goals Maguire cost us, I believe, absolutely. He's meant to be the leader. Maguire not on the field for the second goal. I believe, that is true, Brian, but the first goal was his fault at the end. Wasn't he on the field for the second goal? Well, I'll have to have a look at that, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't start him, you know, because the first goal was his, you know, and that set the precedent for the game. No, it's not just his fault, all his fault. It's not. At the end of the day, all round, you know, we had an imbalance in that defence, which was obviously playing Dalot as a left back. It doesn't work. It causes havoc. You know, you can't play right foot and left foot, left foot, exactly. Do you know, if you know what I mean. It's, it causes havoc, and Maguire is liable to make a mistake. He's known for it. He makes mistakes, you know, quite a lot at the end of the day, and we need to. It's not just Maguire's fault. I feel for him, but he shouldn't be a starter. He shouldn't be a starter at the end of the day. Maguire sublime it. It's the others who fouled. He calls the first goal, Stretford gamer. And when you call, at the end of the day, you can have a fantastic game, right? You can have a fantastic game, but you know what? It's those crucial moments. It's those crucial moments in football that can be the difference between winning and losing. And yesterday, he made the mistake for the first goal, lost his man, and was flat-footed. At the end of the day, you could have the most sublime game, and probably did have a great game. But at the end of the day, it's those crucial areas. It's like a goalkeeper, isn't it? You can lose 2-1 with a goalkeeper mistake. You know, otherwise you would have drew the game. At the end of the day, I'm not putting huge pressure on Maguire, but he made the first mistake for the opening goal. So that set the precedent for the rest of the game, if you know what I mean. We were losing the game at half time. It left us with a mountain to climb. Do you know what I mean? Gave Brighton a boost. You know, but at the end of the day, I still believe we're keeping Maguire. But Maguire shouldn't start. It should be Delete from now on. Absolutely. Maguire comes on as a substitute. He's good as a squad player. The lads spotted it, not Ten Hag. Top button, I have to agree with you. I think that sometimes it's very easy to get caught up in the Ten Hag out movement. And it's very easy to get critical of Ten Hag, especially those who were pro Ten Hag out last season. Do you know what I mean? It's very easy to do that. But when you look at the second goal, it's the players who are not using the initiative. You know, sometimes you have to use your initiative. I know you have to stick to a philosophy, you have to stick to your defensive line, your zonal marking, whatever they're playing at the end of the day, but leaving the 3 players unmarked at the back post is common sense. And there were 3 players there who were just ball watching at the end of the day. You have to see danger, you have to use initiative, you have to be intelligent. And you have to go, if you see something's going to happen, you should be able to read the game. The guy's going to cross the ball to 3 players unmarked. If there's Xerxes there, I don't care if Xerxes is a striker. Xerxes should be busting a gut to get back there and try and put the striker off, the goal scorer off. That's what they should be doing. Stop ball watching, and use your initiative in the game. You need initiative in the game. You can't rely everything and blame everything on Ten Hag. Ten Hag has his flaws. Ten Hag has made mistakes. But at the end of the day, it's not all down to him, and that's one thing we shouldn't get trapped in, of course. Sniper man, I demand a win against Liverpool at else 10 out. We have to win against Liverpool, otherwise this league season is going to turn into another one, isn't it? Another wasted season. Amas doesn't have physicality. I believe he does, mate. I believe. Do you know what, Sniper man? I would rather play Amas, who is a left footer, than play Dalot, who's a right footer and left back. And that's just my opinion, Sniper man. It works. At the end of the day, if you understand Man United, Sniper man, over the years, Sir Alex Ferguson said it greatly. He said, if you don't give youth a chance, they stagnate. You know, you have to give them a chance to prove themselves. You have to give them a chance to build his strength at the end of the day. You know, at least play him 10 minutes, 15 minutes here and there until he gets there. Same as wingers left footed on the left. Exactly, Brian. Exactly. And this is what I'm saying. This cutting in business, stat padding wingers that we don't want. We need wingers to create. We need wingers to make chances for our strikers. We didn't even have a striker up there. So how are we expected to score goals as well? Do you know what I mean? So when we went 1-0 down, it made it very difficult and bleak for us because you knew that we're not going to create much. And you just didn't feel it. You know, we got back into the game, a deflected shot from Ahmed, of course. We got back into the game, and that's the time when we should have went, right, gun-ho. We need to go for this game. We need to try and win this game. And we didn't do that. We looked soft. It was like a bottle job. It is a bottle job. It looked like, oh, well, we've got one back. Let's sit back. Let's not do anything stupid. We should have went for that game. Bruno shouldn't have come off. Armac shouldn't have come off. In fact, we should have threw on another striker and just went for the game. Because at the end of the day, Brighton were on the ropes at that time. Sniper McTominay, it's striker. Hell no, not for me, mate. I don't think it should be striker. But what I'm trying to say is that if you're going to play the false number 9, if you haven't got a striker, you don't play Bruno up front. Bruno is not a presence up front. He's not going to cause you havoc up front. If you're going to do that, you need to buy a striker, play Xerxes, or bring in McTominay up front. It's one of those 3 things that we need to do. Of course, don't forget McTominay played in the FA Cup final. And at the end of the day, he played in that number striker role with the false number 9, of course. So at the end of the day, I would love to have a striker in there. I would love to have someone like even Tony in there to cause havoc, to create a bit of problems. I would love that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Brian, talking about Bruno have killed our game. Absolutely, Brian. I felt that was the wrong decision to make. I feel that was a negative substitution, so to speak. It was a bit of a negative one. I don't know why he made that substitution. People saying he was tired and this and that. We need to win that game. Goodness sake, it's the beginning of the season, and we're talking about tiredness. For goodness sake, come on. We need to win that game. We needed to win that game, not even draw that game. And you know what I mean? It's crazy at the end of the day, the substitution. Good morning. Any update on Ugarte? I don't know what Ten Hag is trying to prove. He is on course for United loss. Sometimes in regards to Ten Hag, and as I said, we can't blame everything on Ten Hag. We can't get trapped into that narrative where it's very tunnel visioned in regards to Ten Hag, and we need to refrain from doing that. It is multi-layered. There are more than one problem that we have. A lot of it is blamed on the manager. Of course, the team selection is down to the manager. The mistakes on the pitch are not the manager. He don't ask Maguire to be flat-footed and to be out of position to lose his man. He doesn't ask them players to completely leave the back post unmarked. It's the players sometimes, and sometimes the players need to take responsibility, and sometimes the players need to take initiative on things, of course. I'll get onto Ugarte in a bit. Okerson, of course. Okerson, big up yourself. Sniper, we need Ugarte update. Ugarte now. Let me just say there's one Ugarte update in regards to it is Sunday. Of course, you know what I mean. It's Sunday. It's the weekend. Not much happens in the way of business at the weekend, but it's said from the representatives of PSG and Ugarte that we're waiting on Manchester United. They're waiting on Manchester United. Once the Manchester United and they're all clear, once we've ironed out the deal, then the deal will be done. The deal will be done next week. We've had a long waiting, I know. It's been a long time coming, but the deal will be done next week. If not, you can blame me. You can blame me. It's happening. I said 80%. At the end of the day, I believe it's going to be done, especially after this result. You know what? There were some underlying problems within that team that were exposed yesterday. Number one was Casemiro. Casemiro had no legs. He's got no legs. He's like a transformer in the midfield. Of course, Tricepticon in the midfield, for goodness sake. Tricepticon. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it was slow in the midfield. And as the game went on, I'm surprised Ten Hag didn't see the legs of Casemiro disappearing before our very eyes, of course. Almac, how you doing, my mate? I think we play false number 9 to retain more possession. Yes, we do. At the cost of actually scoring goals. It is a negative approach, which is okay against top teams. Absolutely. This is what I said yesterday, Almac. Fantastic point. Brilliant point. Do you know what? You have to read teams. You have to look. Every team is not the same. Just because it worked against Manchester City doesn't mean it's going to work against a Southampton or a Brighton. Sometimes in football, right, against these type of teams, you have to play more route one. You have to play more route one, right? You have to try and be more direct, right? Against Man City, they're going to have a lot of possession. So you need to have a false number 9 to regain possession. And this is why he played that formation against Manchester City in the FA Cup and in the Charity Shield. But against teams like Brighton, you can afford to have a striker up there who's going to cause havoc. Because then that will free up someone like Bruno or Mason Mount, if you like. It's going to free them up a little bit more. If you're playing a false number 9 against Brighton, it defeats the whole objective of the game, because at the end of the day, these teams play a kind of low block attacking, counter-attacking style. So at the end of the day, why are you playing a false nine? You shouldn't be doing that. You need someone up there to create problem for the defence. That's what you need. Absolutely brilliant point, Mac. And this is what I was pointing out yesterday. It was the wrong formation, completely the wrong way to go. We need to be more positive. We got Xerxes. We spent a lot of money on Xerxes. Play him up front. If you haven't got a striker, if Rasmus is out, we got Xerxes. What is he doing there? Do you know what I mean? It's exactly the same with De Ligt. You've spent a lot of money. We spent all summer trying to get these players, and then they're on the bench, and we're playing the same players who fouled us year in, year out. Brian Foskett, to be fair, if Maguire came on for the De Ligt 1-1 and then lost the game for bad defending, he would have got the blame for the big time. At the end of the day, that was a collective. The second goal was a collective. I'm going to say this, right? The second goal was a culmination of errors. At the end of the day, it weren't one man. I did believe it was Dalot's left side. He's on the left side of the fence, so he should have been more on that side. But it's not just his fault. Football's, it's multi-layered. At the end of the day, football, is very simple. And I think that we make it into a very complicated game at times, especially Manchester United. At the end of the day, you see danger, right? You see danger, you defend the danger. Whether you're a striker, whether you're a midfielder, whether you're a defender, even a goalkeeper. If you see the danger, you go for the danger. I saw 3 men unmarked in the back post. That's not Maguire's fault, that's not De Ligt's fault, that's not Leach's fault, that's all of their fault. I know Maguire went on the pitch, but that was all of their fault. That defensive line at that time made the mistake. All of them. Tactically, we were wrong. It was wrong. And at the end of the day, I saw players ball watching. I saw them standing on the edge of the box, looking at the players on the back post, about to head a free header into the back of the net. He could have controlled that with his chest, controlled it with his foot, and placed it in a goal if he wanted to. He had that much time at the back post. And it's up to the players to use initiative. Sometimes it's not all about the manager. Sometimes you need to look at the players and say, look, use your intelligence, use your initiative. Those players are unmarked. I know you're a striker. Just go and put him off. Give him a little nudge. Do something, for goodness sake. Augustin, Onana did not know how to give his defenders instructions. The problem with Onana, and I said it and I'll say it again, right? Onana is a good goalkeeper, but he's not an elite goalkeeper at the end of the day. He's a ball-playing goalkeeper, but he causes havoc. He's indecisive, right? He's unpredictable. He's slow. He doesn't pass quick enough. He stops. He stands still. He looks around like he's looking for traffic, right? And then sometimes he gets down. He gets down too slow. He's slow getting down. He stays on his line. He doesn't command the area. Things like that. He punches the ball too much. He doesn't catch the ball. I rarely see him catching the ball. There's a lot of things with Onana that are a big issue at the moment. At the end of the day, but. It's not just him. It's a lot. As I said, there's lots of problems. Augustin, good point. It's lots of problems in regards to our team at the moment. It's just not one thing. It's loads of things at the moment. Why not Dalot and Maz switch? Because Dalot has proven he can play left back for Man United. Not brilliantly, but he's proven he can do that. In my opinion, I agree. It's just like last season when we were playing Aaron Wan-Bissaka as a left back and we were playing Dalot as the right back. When Dalot plays the left back, it's just so confusing at times, at the end of the day. But for me, as I said, left footer, left back. I don't care, right? If it's a youngster like Harry and Mas, bring the lad in. It's better than what Brighton have got. Who have Brighton got at left back? Come on, guys, come on. You have to give these players a chance. You have to. And I said that, and I was impressed with Amas during the pre-season. I'm surprised he hasn't been in the squad once since. Get Amrabat in now, Randy. We missed Amrabat yesterday. Hell, you know how the value of Amrabat, isn't it? People criticising Amrabat, saying he weren't good enough. He is. Oof, only 5 things, Sal. Look, I've already said the 5 things. I'm just bringing in other things. So the main 5 things were Maguire, Rashford, CDM, left back with square pegs and round holes. False number 9, and we need a target man, of course. That's 5, of course. We need a target man, definitely, absolutely. Scott, not a CDM, he is a CM attacking midfielder. He is sniper man, he's attacking midfielder, but it looks like he's going to be leaving the club this week. Looks like that way at the end of the day. I don't know, mate. At the end of the day, McTominay was put into midfield for, was it Jose Mourinho put him there? He's always been an attacking midfielder. He's always been a striker during his youth days, as if people know. If you know, you know. When City concede a goal, they remain calm because they know they can score goals, absolutely. Whereas when United fall behind, we get nervous because we don't create many chances. When we concede a goal, we feel like we're not getting back in the game, which is far contrast to the way we used to feel back in the old days when we were successful. When we used to concede 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals, we still knew that we can get back into the game. It said, all right, you score, watch what's going to happen to you. You're just going to upset us, you're going to annoy us. And we used to go for it, and we used to just absolutely squash teams. Who remembers this Tottenham Hotspur game when we were 3-0 down at half-time? You know, what happened? You annoyed us, scored 5 goals, 5-3. You know, that is our DNA. That's who we are. We should have attacking players on the pitch. We should play. We're not Barcelona. We're not Spain. We don't play this false number 9 business that Arsenal used to play. Arsenal, you know, at the end of the day, we don't play that style. We play with a striker. That's what we do. But good point, Almac, absolutely. Bath time. My belief is that the medical department said that Bruno can play a maximum of whatever minutes it was. He's had a limited preseason and can't be back to the 90s, or his hamstring will explode. Well, you know what? That's a good point at the end of the day. But at the same time, if we have players like that, Bath time, at the end of the day, I hope you're doing well, my man. If we have players like that, why aren't we buying a replacement for them? Or why not? Were we not playing Collier? Why didn't we bring Collier on? You know, at the end of the day, why didn't we bring in Omo? You know, at the end of the day, why if we needed that position so desperately, why didn't we do that? Do you know what I'm saying? Why did we sign 2 right backs? Why did we sign a right back when we got a right back? Do you know what I'm saying? You know, when we got Harry Amas there, you know, why did we do that? We could have just kept Wan-Bissaka and brought in a striker. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it just doesn't make sense when I'm thinking about what's going on with Man United at the moment. You know, some things, you know, it's just crazy. Sniper Man. Managers and players are different. Brighton. Eureka, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining the stream. Eureka, Brighton still beating us can only mean we are going down the way of last season. And that's all on Ten Hag. Do you know what I would say, Eureka? It is not all on Ten Hag, but it is a big. You have to. It all boils down to the manager, doesn't it? You know, the narrative is going to be the manager. At the end of the day, the manager picks the team. You know, but one thing I would say this. The manager doesn't make the players make mistakes. But then again, you can counter that and say, but the manager keeps playing these players at the end of the day. The manager trusts the wrong players. And the manager needs to understand that he needs to pick his best team. And he's not picking his best team at the moment. He's not picking his best formation. He's not picking his best team at the end of the day. We need to be more attacking. We need to stop passing out from the back and taking 25 minutes to get the ball from one end to the pitch to the other. We need to just play direct football. Direct football, and we have the quality to defend if we get in trouble. There were times under Sir Alex Ferguson when we had one defender back. We had a Vidic or we had a Yap Stam. We were just relentless, gun-hole attacking. That is Manchester United, and that's what we should be. Good morning, Sam. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Went all the way to Brighton to see Maguire make mistake. He's been making for 5 years. He does. Years with De Ligt on the bench. This movie, we've seen this movie before, loads and loads and loads of times. It's like Back to the Future here. You know, at the end of the day, we've seen this movie loads and loads of times. Maguire makes that crucial mistake. At the end of the day, you can have good games, but you know what determines a very, very good defender? Those who don't make mistakes. You know, because mistakes generally lead to goals for defenders, and if it leads to goals, it generally leads to defeats, and that's what it is. It's not all on Maguire, of course. We're not saying that, but at the end of the day. Play your best players. Play your best players. Stop this nonsense of, oh, he's not ready. They're ready. They've been playing football their whole life, for goodness sake. Deal will be done next week, yeah, on the Liverpool game. No, we will do it. I'm hoping he will be ready. He'll be on the bench for the Liverpool game, probably, I'm guessing, at the end of the day. I hope so. We need him against Liverpool, absolutely. De Ligt leaving Kobe to head the corner clear, which is did badly, was bad as Maguire did. No, it wasn't De Ligt. It was a tactical error. The whole team pushed to the right and left 3 players unmarked. Dalot was the left back Bath time. Dalot should have been there. And also in football, it's not just like about one player. It's about a collective. There were 3 players standing on the edge of the box watching 3 players unmarked at the other side of the box. So they should have used their initiative and cleared the danger and tried to help, even if they do a little nudge, something like that. It's about intelligence in the game at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, it wasn't De Ligt. It was a number of players in there who were playing that side. It was a left-sided player, actually. It could have been blamed on Leacher, you know, because he's a left-sided centre-back, you know, and then you've got Dalot, who's a left-back. De Ligt was marking the other player in the middle, the other striker in the middle for Brighton. If you watch the game back, and then De Ligt was the one who noticed that the player was unmarked in the back post. If you watch the game, he looked and he saw, oh my goodness, the left side is unmarked. And he's the one who was sprinting. He was the only one. The others were left flat-footed. You know, flat-footed at the end of the day. Maguire wasn't playing on the second goal. He wasn't there. So he can't be blamed for that one at the end of the day. But you've got to blame the left-sided centre-back and the left-back for that at the end of the day. So we have to look at that, so to speak. It's a collective at the end of the day. And it's his first game, you know, really, away from home. So, you know, we have to, I want Ugarte news now. I'm very impatient. Sniper man, it's going to happen. Don't worry. Good things come to those who wait. You know, if it wasn't evident that we needed a CDM yesterday, I don't know what it was. It was staring us in the face. You know, you saw Casemiro and his legs going. As the minutes passed, you saw his legs going, didn't you? As minutes passed. The errors of the corner were De Ligt, Anthony, Bottling, Maz, and Dalot's poor body position. Yeah, exactly. Half time is a collective, and that needs to be worked on the transfer on the training pitch. Those sort of things need to be mainly Casemiro for Casemiro as well. Look, at the end of the day, those errors happen and they have to be corrected on the training pitch. We need a defensive coach or something, because at the end of the day, those mistakes were amateur. At the end of the day, they were, and that weren't just down to De Ligt. That was obviously, as you said, it was down to Dalot, it was down to Casemiro, it was down to Mazraoui, it was down to Lija, it was down to those players. You know, a lot of them. So defensively, we're not looking organised. We're not organised as a defence. What are we doing on the training field? We need defensive trainers at the end of the day. Ten Hag needs to realize that this Premier League, he can't keep dropping points away. We can't drop points away to pin teams like Brighton. Absolutely not. Arsenal and Man City will win that game, and that's what we have to remember. Arsenal and Man United, and they will win that game. Even Liverpool will win that game. But after, my biggest issue with Onana is claiming stuff in the 6-yard box. I agree, mate. I feel like Maguire was waiting for him to come yesterday for that cross. It's so important that to have someone who does that in the high lines. Do you know what? I really like goalkeepers like Edwin van der Sar, you know, like Peter Cech, you know, goalkeepers like that. Courtois, of course, of Real Madrid. I like goalkeepers like that, you know, commanding, you know, don't make mistakes, you know what I mean? People like that. Those are the kind of goalkeepers I like. Peter Schmeichel, commanding. You know, someone like that. You know, those type of goalkeepers. I love those type of goalkeepers who own it. Who own it. Do you know what I mean? They own the box. Sniper Man, Dalot is right back naturally, and Mazraoui is a natural. And they're both right back. Sniper Man. Mazraoui is a right back naturally. He started his career in Africa as a right back. In France as a right back. He started as a right back. He's a right back. He's a right footer. He's a right footer. I want right back, right footers on right back. I want left footers on left back. He's a right footer. Look it up, my friend. He's a right footer. He only plays left back to cover. He's played left back for Bayern Munich, he has. He's played left back for Man United, he has. But he's only doing that to cover. Why did he play right back yesterday if he's a left back? Why did Dalot play left back? He's a right footer. Because Mazraoui is a right footer and he's a better right back than left back. Right, but Dalot played left back for AC Milan and Maz right back for AC Milan, I thought. Dalot played left back for AC Milan. Didn't do too badly, to be honest with you, but he's not a left back, he's a right back half time, you know, and playing these square pegs in round holes is not working. He plays right back for Portugal as well. You know, playing these square pegs in round holes doesn't work, of course, it doesn't work. Mazraoui is a right back, of course. If Dalot or Maz gets injured, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I don't want to look at it that deeply, but that's why you have to try and bring in different players. You have to try. I told these man, I've been telling these guys for months, you know what I mean? We need a left back, we need a left back, we need a left back, we need a left back. What happens? When you don't have a left back, a natural one, right, it affects not only the left back position, it also affects the left wing. And this is the problem that we're having. And, you know, we're letting Kadioglu go to Brighton. You know, it's ridiculous. Hayden, Onana should have been commended players to mark free by players for the second goal. We play better than last season, but we still concede easy goals. I agree, Hayden. At the end of Hayden, not Hayden, Han Solo. How you doing? I hope you're doing well, Han Solo. Thank you for joining the stream. At the end of the day, I agree. At the end of the day, you know, it is leadership at the end of the day, and you need a captain. You need 11 captains on the pitch. And what I mean by that is, whenever there's danger, you need someone to take responsibility. You need one player to take responsibility. During the successful times of Man United over the years, you know, we always had 11 captains on the pitch, 11 captains, and every player took responsibility, you know, for their actions. Not just leave it to another player, oh, that's your problem, no, that's your fault, it's his fault, that's his fault. We weren't like that. Players took responsibility. We had 11 captains on the pitch. Nowadays, you know, we got 11 bottlers. Sad to say. Sniper Man, when on Bruno fell down, I heard someone say that the guy get on you. Do you know what? At the end of the day, Bruno differs in opinion towards the fan base. The fan base have different opinions in regards to Bruno. At the end of the day, look, you know, Bruno's a good player. He's one of our most important players at the end of the day, and we can't say it. But I would say this, right? We do need cover for Bruno. We do. We can't keep playing Bruno every single game, of course. Let me get back to these other comments. Sorry. Sniper, when on Bruno, yeah, just read that one, of course. Eureka, how you doing? We buy players and still get beaten by Brighton. Do you know what? That's football. That's football. Sometimes it happens. You know, you can have the best team in the world. The prime Barcelona lost games. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not comparing us to them, but we lose games. But at the end of the day, it's the way we're losing, which is concerning me. You know, that's what's concerning me. It's the way we're losing. Barta, Dana played right back for Porto and Mazraoui played left back before joining Bayern. Yes, but he played there as a cover, mate. He's a right back. If he's a left back by trade, Sniper Man, he would have played left back yesterday. Come on, guys, wake up. He would have played left back yesterday. If he's a left back by trade, why didn't he play left back yesterday? Because he's a right back. You know, because he's a right back, and Dalot can play left back better than Mazraoui. That's the way it is at the end of the day. Unfortunately, come on, Sniper Man. Sniper Bin is coming out again, man. Sniper Bin is coming out again. How did he have a relationship with right wing Anthony then at Ajax? Exactly, yeah. At the end of the day, Mazraoui played right back for Ajax, didn't he? He played right back. He's a right back, yeah. He played right back for Ajax. And he did have a relationship with Anthony. Both right wingers, right back, right footer, you know, exactly bath time. That's exactly right. And Mazraoui was a right back and he played with Anthony on the right midfield. So that means he's a right back. He's not a left back, exactly. I never said he didn't play right back, but he's known for playing left back, bath time. He's there as a makeshift left back. Sniper Man, much love to you, my bro. But at the end of the day, look, he's a left back. He's a right back, you know. And we got to stop playing square pegs in round holes. Absolutely, bath time. You got it right. But the thing is, look, square pegs in round holes don't work. At the end of the day, it doesn't work long term. If you want success in the Premier League, these square pegs in round hole philosophy that we're doing, it doesn't work. It's a big problem for balance. Do you know what I mean? I'm not only saying that, but let's bring in out. Let's stop talking about defenders at the moment. I want to talk about Marcus Rashford. What are your feelings on Marcus Rashford going forward? Because the way I see it, he gets the ball, he stops, he passes back. I don't see him using his power, his strength, his pace anymore. What's going on with Marcus Rashford, guys? 1 year. He's not done anything. Come on. I literally can only remember the time Ollie got sent off for us against Newcastle having one defence. Yeah, at the end of the day, we still drew the game 1-1. Newcastle United, yeah, but at the end of the day, we won more than we lost. Because the reason was, bath time, is that our philosophy was to score goals and to win games. That was it. We needed to win games, and that was Man United's philosophy. Win games. Not pass out for the back, 50 passes at the back. You know, oh, goodness me. We need someone to take initiative, basically. We have no cutting edge to our attack. We used to have electric wingers. We now have trouble opening up teams' offense. Yeah, we did, and we used to push teams till they gave up. We used to push teams until they submitted to us. They said, "Oh my goodness, I can't take this anymore." I've been to games. Listen, I've been to games. Right, I went to Man United against Roma, and Man United won 7-1. Right, that was a fantastic Manchester United team, of course, but it was also a fantastic Roma team. Right, I saw the Roma players holding their knees like, I can't tell you, we give up. Basically throwing in the towel because we were attack. We were non-stop. And it weren't just about tiki-taka, you know, passing this, little passes, 20, 30 passes. It was just about power, pace, and that was what it was about. Power, pace, and talent. That's what it was about at the end of the day. Brian, my mate. Can't always blame Maguire. You defend as a team attack. Yeah, I agree, Brian. I agree, Brian. I just feel like we should pick our best team. At the end of the day, pick our best team. Pick the best team. You know, Han Solo, what's the point of recruiting stellar players if you don't play them straight away? Delict is a Xerxes must start, so we know we play them first on the bench. Mate, I agree with you, absolutely. You know, maybe he thinks they're not ready, but I think he was being too cautious yesterday. If they're not ready, why did they come on at the end of the day? I think he was being too cautious. I think he needs to play them now. You know, play your best team at the end of the day. You can't blame everything on players like Maguire, but Maguire has been known throughout history at Man United. We know for the last 10 years he's prone to a mistake. And he does make crucial mistakes, you know. It's a bit like, you know, sometimes, you know, when you get, in football at the end of the day, if you've got players who are prone to mistakes, like if I'd asked you one thing, right, I'm going to bring this out to you, and I'm going to give you, ask you to correct me if I'm wrong. Ronnie Johnson, right, I'm not even going to mention the best defences at Man United. Ronnie Johnson, Henning Berg, David May, how many mistakes did they make? Name them. How many crucial mistakes did they make? Name them. And they're not even the first team players at the end of the day. Afro said, how you doing? Mr. Sal, do you think we will do something with this panic mentality? I hope so, mate. You know what? There's a big problem with our mentality. Absolutely. We've got this bottling mentality. And you know what? When you have players who failed for the last 10 years, this is why I said you've got to clear out the squad, including Rashford, including Maguire, including Lindelof, including Shaw, including all these players. If you've got players who are used to defeat, you know what? I think you need to freshen it up. And unfortunately, we've got far too many of those players in the squad, you know? I do think we need to fix it up, Brian. Still need 4 players, left back, 2 midfielders, and a striker who could score goals, Brian. Thank you so much, mate. Absolutely, very, very true. We still need a left back. We still need 2 midfielders. And we need, I mean, looking at yesterday, when you look at Casemiro, we definitely need another midfielder other than Ugarte. I mean, Casemiro looked like he's played 70 games already, for goodness sake. You know? Almac. Brighton's team probably costs less than a sixth of our expensive team, and they can go toe-to-toe with us. We need to do better. We do, Almac, absolutely. There's no excuses at the end of the day. As a collective, we need to do better. As a collective, of course. Absolutely agree. I don't know how much time I can back Rashford with these performances. I can't either, mate. I can't either. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of these subpar performances. You know what? You need to. It's the eye test that what you got to look at. The eye test is what's most important. What you see with your eyes. And all I see in my eyes is someone who's pedestrian, someone who doesn't really give it effort, just jogs around the pitch. It's not good enough. When I see Garnacho coming on, maybe Garnacho's not the finished product yet, but at least Garnacho runs and he causes havoc, you know? Harry player Victor lurking in the background is a worry. It is a worry, mate. We still got a lot of problems at that club. We still got a lot of problems. I remember him playing left back before Bayern. Mate, he's a right back. That's why he played right back yesterday, mate. If he was a left back, for goodness sake, I wish he was a left back, Sniper Man. Because if he was a left back, he would have played left back yesterday and not Dalot, who is a right footer. Come on, Sniper Man. Do you think Scholes might actually be right? Instead of Destroyer, we need high volume, part very sensible. The one thing I would agree half time about Paul Scholes, what he said last week, is that we need this player like Zubimendi. Right, we can't keep playing this kind of style where, you know, defense and attack. We need someone who can take that ball and bring it forward. I believe Ugarte can do that, subject to popular belief. I believe he can do that. Zubimendi would have been a brilliant buy. We could rotate Mainu as well. He would have been fantastic, but it looks like we don't have the finances for that at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, look, I hope that Ugarte would unleash a couple of our players. It will help our players go forward a lot more. It will help the team going forward. I hope that is true. But there's a lot of problems in that team, and we need to find the best team. We need to find the best formula for scoring goals. At the moment, you know what? When Brentford and teams like that are scoring more goals than us, there's a problem. When West Ham are scoring more goals than us, there's a problem. Do you know what I mean? West Ham yesterday went to Selhurst Park and won 2-0. Do you know what I mean? And they got Wan-Bissaka and players, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. No, man, I remember him playing left back. Mate, look, at the end of the day, he can play left back, Sniper Man, but he's not his natural position. Augustin, I'm tired for not seeing United competing. Me too, Augustin. Do you know what I mean? I know our levels. I know where we should be. We're the biggest club not to be challenging for the league. We're the biggest club in world football who are not challenging for the league, you know, and we should be. That's where we should be. I'm tired of excuses at the end of the day, making excuses. At the end of the day, it's the result, and what I care about is what happens on the football pitch and results. That's what I care about, whether we play bad, whether we play good, as long as we win. And that's how it's always been. That's how it should be at the end of the day. Hakimi's brilliant, though. Wouldn't mind Hakimi at Man United. Sniper Man, maybe. Yeah, let's go. Irfan, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hi, what about the news? Man United go for a world class in the transfer market. Rafael Leao, Victor Osimhen, Nico Williams. Irfan, do you know what? I would love those signings. I know you're an advocate for those signings, but we don't have the money for those signings, mate. If we had the money for Kvaratskhelia, or if we have the money for Nico Williams, I'm sure we would go in for them, but I don't think we have 250 odd million to spend on those two players. Rafael Leao as well. I don't think we have the money to spend on those two players. Unfortunately, as sad as it is, we don't. I believe Garnacho is good enough. I don't think Rafael Leao is. We can. I like Nico Williams. I think he's good. Keelia, I'm going to call him at the end of the day. He's good, you know, but they're expensive, mate. They're very, very expensive. But in the World Cup before, he could play both. But Mazraoui is right-footed. What I'm saying to you, Sniper Man, we need right foot on right back, left foot on left back. Mazraoui is like right-footed. You can look that up. Sniper Man, we are not Man City or Chelsea. We don't have infinite money. We don't. This is the problem, unfortunately. This is why I wanted the full sale, and I wanted the Glazers out, and I wanted the debt cleared. This is why. Precisely why. Because we could have players we didn't want, we could have paid off their contracts, and we could have got rid of them, and we could have fixed the team and the squad. It would have been better rather than penny pinching for Ugarte. Bath time, we did kind of change in Europe when Carlos Queiroz came in, but no doubt in the Premier League, we never faffed about in the way we played with Norwich away in 94. We didn't faff about. And I understand what you mean, Bath time. In Europe, we changed from a 4-4-2 to a 4-5-1, I remember. And when we changed to a 4-5-1, because we were not getting results in Europe, of course. So we were trying to be more defensive because we're conceding too many goals. So we ended up playing 5 in the midfield. And that approach did work, to be honest. For us, but we had so much quality in that side, you know, and that formation as well can transition into 4 up front. Wingers are supposed to create goals, but ours want to score. This is the problem, cutting in. This is why I said left footer on left midfield, right footer on right midfield, because that will make them more inclined to cross the ball rather than cutting in and trying to shoot. And this is the problem that we're having with Rashford and that. They're looking to be a hero rather than looking to set up other players, and it's a problem, of course. Bath time. Isn't it crazy that Brighton manager is 4 years older than Rashford? It's mad, isn't it, though? It's mad. You know, we should be embarrassed we lost that game, to be honest with you. Embarrassing. Isn't it crazy Heaton is older than Brighton? Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. Rashford is still getting over his fiancée. For goodness sake, he needs to get over it, for goodness sake. For God, he could take some counselling, whatever. But at the end of the day, we can't keep carrying this guy. We're not a psychiatric hospital. We are a football club at the end of the day. You know, this is not a shrink FC. This is Manchester United. He needs to get on with it. He needs to start playing. We can't keep carrying these players. Greetings, how you doing, Drizzy? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Greetings from Australia. Big up the Australian, massive. Hope you're doing. Whereabouts in Australia are you talking to me from? Eric Tuham is getting offside already with the fans. I don't know what he's going to do with Mount, who is injured, but that's a lie. I feel do better, Eric. He's under huge pressure. You know what? Eric is under huge pressure, and there is no hiding from that at the end of the day. Eric is a big season for him. It's his 3rd season, you know, so people are not going to take any prisoners this season. I'm going to back him until the end, right? I'm not going to say Ten Hag out until it's absolute the end. You know, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pile on pressure on the manager. I'm going to just wait and see what happens. At the end of the day, us screaming down the manager's throat, us putting pressure on the manager, being on his back, is not going to help us winning games at the end of the day. So we just need to watch, support, which is most important, support the team, and we see what happens, you know, at the end of the day. Everything will work itself out at the end of the day. We know that in football. To be honest, taking the ball off the back 4 is the easiest thing for a midfielder. Doing stuff in the final third is where we get found out. If Ugarte is footballer or a half measure, I hope so, mate. You know what? I hope that Ugarte is that player. They have obviously done huge research on him, Ineos and Erik ten Hag. They're desperate for this player. So hopefully he'll make a huge difference. But what way I'm seeing it now is that we're not a threat on goal. This is what I'm seeing at the moment. We're not scary. You know, we're not scary in front of goal. We're not Man City. We're not Arsenal. We're not scary. You know, and we need to be more scary up front. We used to be scary. You know, teams used to submit before they even came out the tunnel. Nowadays, we're just like, you know, oh, don't worry about them. What they're going to do, we go 1-0 up. They're not going to do nothing with their little false nine. Bruno moaning on the pitch, you know, throwing his hands around. You know, no one doing anything. You know, we're not scary enough, guys. Even I've been saying that for a while now. Guitars and Sir Jim Weather would have cooked. Mate, if I speak, I'll be in big, as Jose Mourinho said, if I speak, I'll be in big trouble. Guevara is too expensive. City tried to get him for 100 million and Napoli turned it down. He's very expensive. Very, very expensive. We can't afford him at the moment. Barcelona are not good. They keep on playing as the big club, but we know always finishing second on the windy league. Barcelona are on the transition. They're a bit like us in a way, if you think about it. They're a bit like cup team at the moment. Real Madrid dominating, but at least they come. You know, they challenge sometimes. You know. Then we beat them in Europa League. Yeah, we beat them last season. It was a good performance. Don't forget Ten Hag beat Barcelona in the Europa League. Don't forget that, guys. Man City in the FA Cup final. So we're capable. We're capable, you know. We've shown that we are capable. Ugarte is not coming. We must get Edison and Amrabat in. We will be better than getting Ugarte because it makes sense. Randy, you talk a lot of sense, my guy. At the end of the day, that would be great, but it's not going to happen. Man United have set their heart on Ugarte. Ugarte is a fantastic player, Randy. I wanted him when he was at Sporting Lisbon. He was a very good player back then. I rate the player highly. You know, just give the player a chance at the end of the day. Yeah, just give the player a chance. But we missed Amrabat yesterday. We said it, didn't we, about Amrabat? To be honest, I'm not a fan of Erik ten Hag and his tactics, but I do see the start of a decent team. Me too. The players aren't good enough yet from the back to front, but we have made more chances than last season and conceded less. It's only the first 2 games, bath time, but I agree what you're saying. You know, we are playing patterns of football are better, triangles, etc. We're playing better football at the end of the day. The only thing is we're toothless up front. We're toothless up front, and we make these silly errors, and we're too slow from playing out from the back at the end of the day. And that's my problem with it. There's 2 things. We're toothless up front and we're too slow building out from the back. Do you think Ugarte is type of destroyer who would be better or a deep line playmaker like Zubimendi or De Jong? He's a both, mate. He's both. He's a destroyer. He's a guy who could push the team forward. A little bit like Roy Keane, of course. He's a guy who's a leader. He's got legs. You know, he can run unlike Casemiro. He can play 60, 70 games a season. He's a great player. I'm excited to see him. But we need more. We do need more. We need more players in there. We do need more players, guys. Ugarte 100% coming. Absolutely, next week is the week he will be a Manchester United player 100%. Erik ten Hag was always out of his depth. Only difference, we had De Gea who saved the team. Erik ten Hag. Look, at the end of the day, Donovan, this is about opinion. You know, it's a big. All I would say is I'm not going to say Erik ten Hag out and this and that. And Erik ten Hag is a bad manager. Blah blah blah. He can't be if he's beating Barcelona. He's beating Man City in cup games. Maybe, you know, at the end of the day, we just need to be a little bit more patient to what's going on at the moment. What we will say is this. He will die on his own sword. Do you know what I mean? He would, if he doesn't get the results, we know what's going to happen. The manager will get the sack. That's what's going to happen. The most important thing for us to do is support the team. You know, support the team and don't get on his back. He will be sacked, especially under this new regime with Ineos, if he doesn't get results. Liverpool's a massive game on Sunday. We need to win that game. 4 o'clock on Sunday, massive game, must win. Win that game, more positive. But play the best team. Play the best team. Man United needs a right winger. Ahmed is not the guy. He is the next Anthony 2.0. Man United need a Brentford, Brian Mbeumo. At the end of the day, mate, you know what? I will say this to you. I think Ahmed's a very young player, and he, you know, there's a lot of pressure on him this season, and we have to be careful the way we criticise young players. You know, Mbeumo's got no pressure at Brentford. There's a big difference between playing for Brentford and playing for Man United. When you play for Man United, the shirt is heavy. The shirt is heavy. Now you can bring in Mbeumo, and he can be like, he can turn into the, you know, another one who doesn't make it. You know, at the end of the day. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we can bring in these players, but Man United is a different animal, in my opinion. What a shout, Emerson. I love Brian Mbeumo, and I'm stunned that he hasn't moved to a bigger club. I think Ahmed's got a higher ceiling, but he has got a higher ceiling. We have to trust the young players, of course. Mbeumo is playing for Brentford. As I said, it's different. It's a different animal. It's a different animal playing for Brentford. It'd be great to sign him. Don't think we got the money to buy him, though. Almac, if we are paying full price for Ugarte, why didn't we pay the price for 2 months ago? What will we do? Mate, this stinks to me, Almac, of Glazer ownership. The Glazers sign the contracts, so what they do, the Glazers, they say try and get the best deal possible until the very end of the transfer window. This is what the Glazers do. And if it gets to the end of the transfer window, then just pay the money. What that does is, you have little time to integrate the player into the team. You have little time to put him into the tactics, make him move him into Manchester, get him settled down, for example. You know, the Glazers are still signing the checks. They're still signing the checks. You know, and at the end of the day, the negotiations are going to be brilliant with Ineos. You know, they're getting these contracts, like personal contracts between the player and Ineos, sorted out quickly, personal terms already agreed, this, that, getting less wages for them as well, that's great. But when it comes to signing those checks, the Glazers are the ones, which is why we wanted a full sale, Glazers out, debt cleared. This is why, and I was a big advocate for it. Joel, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you back. Our right winger is Garnacho, so we do not need a right winger. We got so many. We got right wingers. Garnacho is better than Mbeumo at the end of the day, I believe, and his ceiling is higher, and so is Ahmed's ceiling is higher. What I would say is that Rashford needs to improve. You don't see Garnacho as a left wing. I see him as a left and right wing. I think he's both good on right. But you know what? Garnacho, isn't he right-footed? Again, you know? We've got to stop doing this square pegs in round holes thing, you know, and this is the problem with it. Joe, Garnacho's strong side is 10 right, so no, I do not see Raj as a left-sided winger, not when we play with stupid inverted wingers. This is the problem. Exactly, Joe. This is what I've been saying on the show. It's about playing players with their right foot on the right, left foot on the left, to the left, to the left. We need to do that at the end of the day. We've got to stop this inverted winger ball, you know, at the end of the day. It's not working. You need players who can run with their natural foot, cross with their natural foot, cut in with their natural foot, stop cutting in like trying to score goals. You know, run, turn right, shoot, run, turn left, shoot. That's what they do. You know, and we've got to stop that. We have to. So I should go to Ferguson and ask him for Premier League experience. He won't do that. He was offered it. I believe he was offered it in the past, but I don't think he would do that, guys. I don't think he will go to Ferguson. One thing about Ten Hag, he has an ego. Eric Ten Hag has a big ego, and he's not going to sway away from that. He has his philosophy. I hope it works for him, and at the end of the day, I hope he gets the results we need. Because at the end of the day, guys, it's about results. If you don't get results, we know what's going to happen. We know. Exactly. It doesn't take a rocket science to work that one out. If by Christmas, you know, we're 5th, we're 6th, you know, enough is enough. We need to be challenging. I said it at the beginning of the season that I want us to challenge. When Manchester United, we should be challenging. I mean, I don't care about excuses anymore. I don't care who's on the pitch. I want them to win. That's it. I don't care Maguire, Mason Mount. I don't Garnacho, Rashford. Win the game. Win the game. And that's all I care about. I'm fed up with this. You know, I am fed up with this. But guys, one thing I would say to end the show. Don't stop believing. Don't stop believing. We will get there. The beast will awaken. We are getting there. There is signs that we are getting there. I know it's hard to see, but there is signs that we are getting there. We will get there, and we will be back to the rightful place where we belong, guys. Don't forget to smash a like, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You absolute legends. You absolute legends. Be patient, as Randy said. Be patient. Absolutely. We don't want to go straight back to where we were, back to ground zero, of course. We don't want to go back to there. I had hoped a draw last night, but Brighton had beaten United 5 out of 6 times. Yeah. The result last night did not surprise me. They got Eric Ten Hag's number. Not only Eric Ten Hag, they beat Ragnick as well. You know, they've got our number, of course. Big up, we are in transition, Randy. Yeah, exactly. We need to be patient. I agree. I'm going to be patient. I hope you're going to be patient as well. Just be patient, guys. Keep the faith, keep the belief, and just keep working on trying to be patient. That's what's important. Patience is so important, guys. It's so important, guys. You have to be. And in life in general, I would say just be patient. We're getting there. The beast is about to awaken. You guys have a fantastic day. I'll be back if anything breaks in regards to Ugarte news. Of course, it's coming very soon. It is on the edge. It's about to happen, guys. Just be patient, and that is a big signing. We need more, of course. We do need more. We need a left back. I said it. We need a left back. I've been saying it for weeks, guys. But thank you so much for joining me today. You absolute legends. This community is growing by the day. You guys are absolute diamonds. I'm telling you right now. I appreciate every single one of you. I just want a successful Man United so we can come on here and we can celebrate together. That's what I want at the end of the day, guys. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you later for Chatterbox. I'll be here 2 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Central European time, and of course 5 p.m. Middle Eastern times. Have a fantastic day, and come on, glory, glory, Man United. Don't give up the hope. Keep the faith, guys. Keep the faith. Come on.